Hi, welcome to Emotional Mastery for Veterans. It's the culmination of 8 years of work helping people from various walks of life, to include veterans. Being a veteran, I thought more than anything ever after serving in the Army that getting out is what would make me the happiest. I wanted to go and do all of those different things on paper we feel like are successful. So I got out. All these different life events were happening. As I continued to work, there was this dark shadow that seemed to just follow me everywhere. In my mind, I just wasn't happy or satisfied at all. Not the kind of not satisfied, like you just need to grind more, you need to get somewhere. I had it in my head that I will just keep pushing that feeling, that emotion down, all the shit that I dealt with from serving. I'll just push it all into the background, and I'll just feel better when I achieve the amount of money I wanted to make, or I get the awards that I wanted, or I get the accolades, or I'll just put up an act and be a people pleaser and be overtly kind to everybody, do all these different things to try to blend in and fade in as well. I learned after achieving the highest level executive position I could in the government agency that I worked for at the age of 24 years old, and getting all these different awards and all these attaboys and stuff, I still felt like shit. So instead of going and trying to open up and be vulnerable and work through my own stuff, I decided to pour all of that time and energy into porn and video games. For some reason, when I put my hands on that controller, I felt better. I could escape into that virtual world. I started playing games where other people were online playing, and I started building friend groups and guilds and all these other things in the games. I started to feel okay, because if I wanted to feel like I was achieving something, or feel like I was enough, or feel like my emotions were under control, I could just run to this world, play these games, chat with these people who have no clue who I even am, and just feel okay. But those couple hours of playing games moved to day-long sessions of playing the games. Just playing on my phone moved to playing on my console constantly in a dark room with just a TV on. My family's buzzing about doing whatever they're doing, and I'm shut up in the room. To computers, playing on my computer. I began to play it everywhere. If we were in the car, I would ask my wife to drive so I could pull out my phone and play the games. If my wife had friends over, or we had friends over in general, I would go upstairs to get the controller and play the game. When we went to do family outings, like going to the zoo and everything like that, the only thing I could think about was, you guessed it, playing the games. Why am I telling you all this craziness? Because I want you to understand that it's not too unsimilar from the struggle that most every other veteran suffers from when they get out of the military. You see, when we were in the military, we had all of this structure. We had all this camaraderie. We had our brothers and sisters with us. And so we felt fulfilled. We felt like we had a purpose. We had this general direction, this sense of movement. So we were okay. We were good. We get out and we realize we're missing those things, and we're just dropped. We offered no support to figure that out, to deal with things, to heal from the traumas, to just generally be okay. So I kept playing those games, and I started to ignore all of my responsibilities. I would be able to skate by and be functional at work as long as I could play on my games during downtimes at work. I even began to bring in my laptop and play games early in the morning before work even started. If I didn't get my time on those games, I was a furious person who was annoyed and frustrated with everything. You might even be able to relate to that with whatever you struggle with, alcohol, any of the other stuff. I would at times think that something is wrong here. Every time I think about my deployment, or I think about this stress or this struggle or this injury that I had gotten from the military, and this dark feeling would come over me, it would be replaced by this hit of dopamine that would lead me to want to go play games. And then when I play the games, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling all right. I'm like, those things were not a problem. So I ignored it until I hit my rock bottom one day. I knew in the back of my mind something was wrong, because I never beat any of the games I played. I would start them over when I got close to the game finishing, because I didn't want the rush, that feeling, to end. And I would find new ways to make it more of a rush. like spending thousands of dollars on games and upgrades and options and varieties just to keep it new and interesting. Big problem was I hid those expenditures from my wife. That's money we could have used to pay bills or to save for trips or all these other things that I was pouring into this virtual habit that amounted to nothing once you turn off the screen. So my wife found out one day. The statement came in the mail. I wasn't fast enough to catch it. She found the statement, saw how much I was spending, was shocked beyond belief. And when we had the conversation that day, she kicked me out. She said, "You got to go somewhere else because this is not okay." And I agree. She was right to do that. So I'm out of the house that same day. Going into the nighttime, I'm sitting in the hotel room and I'm looking over all my choices. Like, how did I get this far? I tried so many times to quit, but I never could. What was the problem? And through all of these different flashbacks and ideas, it hit me. I got to make a decision here. I got two choices: go back, play the games, and lose my wife, lose my kids, live in a basement somewhere by myself, and just play for the rest of my life. Or I can quit all these games, go take my life back, go spend time with my wife and kids, figure me out, do all the shit that scares me. I'm here teaching you on this course so you know what choice I made. You see, the big problem that we veterans struggle and that I realized as I'm crawling back up from rock bottom and healing myself, and without even doing it on purpose, healing other vets that I knew that would come intuitively and ask me for help, I realized that one of the areas that we really, really struggle with is our emotions. And if you don't think that's true, pull up a YouTube of your favorite vets, the ones that you see on TV or hear in an interview, and look for that twinge of emotion. And notice how we always sound like robots at times. You can tell who has done the work to be more open, vulnerable, and open to their emotions, and who hasn't, based on how they talk, look, and smile and everything. And if you look at some of the old pictures of me too, you can see in my smile that I wasn't happy and that I was shutting a lot of shit out. Where I'm going with this is that I want you to understand that this course is your lifeline. If you've been smashing your emotions down, or if you've been overly expressing your emotions, we're going to get into what all this means. And you get angry and everybody knows it. You're throwing stuff or you're punching walls. If you go quiet and mute, if you give people a silent treatment all the time, if inside you feel absolutely like shit, even though your money's good, and supposedly when somebody on the outside looks, everything looks good, but you don't feel like it's that way, I've been there. I want you to understand that everything I'm teaching you is everything that I did for myself to help recover everything that I fractured when I left the military. This course is meant to be something that gets you to gain more control and more awareness of your emotions so that you can gain the benefits. What are the benefits of that? The benefits are going to be more focus. Imagine how easier it is to focus when there isn't a tumultuous storm of emotions flowing inside of you. You're going to get more energy. Emotions are energy. And when you allow negative emotions to continually be suppressed, that takes your energy and vitality to keep doing that. When you're able to surrender and process those emotions instead, you release all this energy and you don't need naps anymore. You don't fucking need energy drinks anymore. You don't need coffee anymore. You just have this enthusiasm for life. If you feel a lot of apathy, you just don't care about anything anymore. Nothing gets you excited. Understand that this is going to remove that, being able to master your emotions. Did you know that a lot of those mental health issues we talk about, like anxiety and depression and all of those, are just symptoms of this issue, emotional mastery or the lack of it? I'm going to teach you how to do that on this course, how to develop it. Now, I want you to understand a few things. If you're going to commit to this course, understand that the results are different for each and every person. For me, I held down my emotions since childhood. I learned to just be quiet and not trouble anybody with what I was feeling. And then the military compounded it by saying, you're a weak soldier if you open up about these different things or if you go to sick call and do it. So it got worse. So imagine how long it would take to unravel all of that. For me, it took 8 years. It will not take you that long because I'm going to teach you everything that works and nothing that doesn't. But I want you to be patient with the processes I'm going to teach you and understand that it's not a one size fits all in this course. I'm going to give you all of the different tools that you can use to gain control of your emotions, and you're going to pick which ones are going to fit best into your life. I hope that makes sense. Now, with all the massive benefits and all the amazing value, and stay tuned to the last video in this course or series, because on that one I'm going to give you an extra bonus as well, something that you can take with you to keep reinforcing everything we've been working on. So I want you to watch through everything, take action on action step that I give you, and make sure that it's something that will work for you or won't. And don't get discouraged if it won't, because there is something on this course that will absolutely work for you. You just have to continue to do the work and explore and figure it out. So that brings me to the other point. Keep an open mind as you do this. There are going to be some things on here that you consider to be woo-woo, or more on the spiritual side, not the logical side, but understand that that's what it's about. We have been taught to be disciplined and logical and left brain and lists and all of these charts and things like that, when what we're actually lacking is the development of the right brain side of this processing of your emotions, the imagery, the creativity, the energy, all of that. And that's what I'm going to teach you to unlock on this course. So if you're looking for charts, bar graphs, and PowerPoints, and shit like that, this is the wrong course for you. I'm going to teach you how to do this so naturally that it's like breathing. By the time you're done, you snap your fingers, you feel the way you want to feel. So I'm glad that you have bought into this course. You're ready to take the steps forward that are necessary to feel better from now on, to show up as a better husband, better father, better wife, better mother, better person, better friend, better sibling, whatever it is you're after. I'm glad that you took the first step by following this course, and I will catch you on the next video where we start to explain and break down these emotions.